My name is Dany Gagnon. I'm a physiotherapist, and I did a master in rehabilitation science and a PhD also in rehabilitation science. And I now work at the Montreal Rehabilitation Institute, which is now named the Institut de Réadaptation Généralisée de Montréal. And over there I work as a research scientist, and my research interests is mostly around analyzing movement. So by analyzing movement, I mean quantifying movement in terms of strategies, but also in terms of measuring the effort that are needed to perform different functional activities with people that are using a wheelchair or people that are walking. A typical example I can give you today would be with respect to the performance of a sitting pivot transfer in a person with a spinal cord injury that is using a wheelchair for mobility. We know that these people will have to transfer to different surfaces, or like to a bed, to a toilet, to a car, to a truck, into an airplane. And doing the transfer is very demanding in terms of upper extremity effort and in terms of balance also. So we have people coming to the lab, and we have developed a specific procedure to do these assessments, and then we're able to quantify like all the movement strategies and all the efforts required. And the aim of the project basically is to find a way, like the best way to teach them how to transfer, because in clinical practice as physiotherapists or occupational therapists, we teach people to do the transfer mostly by trial and errors, because we don't have a lot of evidence to support what we do. So the aim is really to start with a clinical problem and then bring it to the lab, and then we try to find answer, and then after that then we can go back to the clinician, exchange with them on what we found, and try to pair that with what they're currently doing in clinical practice. So we look at the best strategies, and also we're able to identify what to target in clinical practice as a goal. Let's say somebody comes in and is unable to do a transfer. What this person needs to do or to achieve in order to be able to perform the task. So we're looking at the factors that are limiting their performance while they're doing the task, and we want to change that. So we want to work on these limiting factors with innovative therapies or exercises, and that's one of the goals that I have right now. People with a spinal cord injury that are using a wheelchair, they're soliciting their upper extremities a lot. They have to push their wheelchair, which is very demanding, but also they have to do other tasks, such as transferring from their chair to another chair or another surfaces. They need to do some reaching because they're sitting lower, so very often they need to reach above their shoulder height. And also they have to do light pressure lift to protect their skin. So their upper limb are extremely solicited, and they're at high risk of having musculoskeletal or neurological impairment at their limb. As we know, like the majority of people with a spinal cord injury will experience shoulder pain or wrist pain over the course of their life. So one of the goals is really to try to prevent these from happening, and that's why we're doing that research to optimize their function. So muscle strength, for example, is a key thing. So we want to make sure that their upper limb are very strong, and there's a way to do that, the strengthening, because we need to balance the different muscle group, not to create more problem. So that's what we're looking at. So another problem that we're facing also is balance, because keeping balance in a sitting position is not that simple, although we think it is, but for these people it's very challenging. And whenever they're performing a task, they need to conciliate their balance with the performance of the task. So it's sort of a trade-off between these two key elements. And we're also working on a specific program to train sitting balance with people with SCI. One of the key things when we do all this work is we're doing it for the people with SCI, but it needs to go through the clinician also that will bring the message to these people. So far, most of our effort has been directed at training or teaching what we find to the clinician. So to do that, we do different things. We do seminars with the clinician, And we're currently also working with the group that are putting online the SCI University, and that's going to be like to access like all people with SCI, their family, their friends, all the therapists, and also all the trainees, you know, like the students that are training. We want to make sure that they're learning these messages very early on so that they can use them throughout their career, basically. One of the messages that I'd like them to take home, basically, is that transferring is very demanding. It's very hard, and I'd like them to know that we're working on this problem to find solutions.